Greetings everyone and welcome back to Stellaris and of course to the EOS Commonwealth, where in the last episode we founded the Galactic Community. Now we are a little ways away from being able to set up the Galactic Council. I was misnaming this a few times in the last episode. I do apologize. I caught that in editing. But in today's episode, we are going to begin making use of the Galactic Community. And our focus at the moment is to pass a resolution to prove that the Galactic Community can work together and is something that should be treated as a major player in the galaxy. It's more than just bluster. Now, I've had a look through both in-game and, of course, through comments, and I agree with the comments that stated that going for things like pangalactic recycling and anything to do with research is probably a good first step. Now, the reason for this is kind of twofold. First and foremost, obviously, helping out with research is quite nice in and of itself, and the earlier you do this, the greater the effect. But this has another effect as well, in that this will increase the diplomatic weight from tech. Now, we're not a particularly strong economy, but we're not bad. We're quite comparable when it comes to tech. So anything that it promotes our position and gives us a little bit more clout to our decisions is a good move. But also anything that decreases the clout from economy specifically is a good move. Both of these working together would diminish the effect of very strong economies, which typically any kind of trading empire is going to have a lot of, whilst promoting more technology-focused economies such as ourselves, rather technology-focused empires. There are, of course, other ones that promote fleets and ones that demote fleets. So, for example, over here, a lot of these will downplay the effect of fleet power on diplomatic weight. At the moment, we probably wouldn't want to do that. We're kind of comparable with fleets as well, but we really do want to kind of curb the control and power of very strong economies right now. So, of the two, as much as research is useful for us, the strong economic players also have comparable tech. So trying to first pull down their advantage before elevating and giving ourselves an advantage, I think, is probably a good move. Now, we have a little while before we can actually do this, so we're going to need to sit on that decision for now. And indeed, the Galactic Community will move forward in the time that it takes us to get this. So we may be able to just throw our support behind other people who have suggested such things. We've got some constructions completed. That's marvelous. Now, I do want to try and grab this trade, but if we have a look around, in terms of the best place for a trade hub, would probably be here. Yeah, more than likely here, I would say, since that would grab these two locations. And then we'd want something up around here, perhaps, to grab these two. Those are very nice, if we can get there in time. We really want to try and get over to Peel, and that's where a lot of my focus is at the moment. So we're going to be continuing with that attempt to try and push our borders, at least over here. I'm going to do that before we go for the Galactic Community, though it looks like we've already got something to look at. Oh, wow, they've already gone for the Guardian Angels Act. Okay, that's in the queue. Diplomatic weight from fleet power minus 20%, defensive army morale plus 15%, and army upkeep would go up. I am going to try then, perhaps I will rearrange my priorities, considering that's already on the floor, and I don't necessarily want it to get put through by default to push for alternate options. We are going to be moving straight on over there, but we'll see how all of that plays out and when we get the requisite influence to try and push through some resolutions. Presence of a foreign alien-made object. Sure, we'll check in on that. But also, before we go any further, Oolong Prime, what is up down there? We have worker unemployment. Well, that's not good at all. I do really need to try and get some admin jobs, because our admin cap is causing us to pay quite a lot, and specifically the technology cost is a bit nasty. Our fleet being well above what it should be is also hurting us. So generally speaking, there are a lot of stuff that we need to try and nail down around here. Go ahead and get some mining districts over here. There's no reason not to, really. Let's have a look. T Prime. Now, apparently there was a belief that T Prime perhaps had Betharian over here. Let me have a quick look down here. Planetary Features. Do we have Betharian? Oh, we do. We had Betharian fields. I am such a fool. Thank you very much for pointing that out. That was a complete mistake on my part to pass up the Betharian technology on our Forge world. That's probably, generator world rather. That's probably why I set it up as a generator world to begin with. Ah, well, my bad. Aavaks will derp, as the saying goes. Okay, looks like we've got a new event at our archaeological dig site, and I am extremely excited to find out where this is going. This may be the last one. The translated log appears to have been recorded by Uxia, the third mate. First mate Uthar committed suicide by ripping off his own antennas yesterday. Technician, second class, Missivia, declared herself empress shortly afterwards, but food riots forced her into exile on the lower decks. Situation very bleak. Cannibalism widespread. But shush! I'm reading something important. Brevax has turned entirely magenta after his lower abdomen exploded yesterday. Should be dead, but is not. Now worshipped as a deity by Gamma Shift. I can only assume that Brevax is not actually one of their species. This is amazing. Should be dead. Somehow not. Oh, this is fantastic. Is it still going? Oh my lord, it's still going. This is such a long archaeological thing. I am so invested in this story. An ancient orbital shipyard drifts in silence above this world. It has suffered significant battle damage, and entire sections of the facility are missing. Ooh, that might get us another ship. I wouldn't be terribly upset if it did, but, things are a bit ropey. We have got many things. Oh, someone has already put forward what I wanted to go for anyway, so that means we get to keep our influence. Fantastic. I'm putting my support behind this one, and it has now pushed it all the way up. Our current diplomatic weight is 406, and that's partially because we've got a diplomatic corps who are very well trained, and therefore we know how to navigate the flaws of bureaucracy and diplomacy. But we're not terribly bad. We're kind of middling, but we do need to increase this somewhat. We absolutely need to pull you down, though. Oh my lord, you're way too high. But there we go. So this one is now up next. If Senate recess in 110 days, we need to get this up in time for it to be pulled up onto the Senate floor. It'll be interesting if we can keep that high, but it does come down to where other people vote. If we have a look at these, how many are in support of it? I'm abstaining. I could oppose and thereby pull that down. Radiant Shield is not a bad one. I'm not in favor of the Guardian Angels Act, though. I don't know about that one. Charter of Workers' Rights, I mean, that's okay. You can put your support behind pretty much everything, or oppose things, to try and shift them around. I don't need to do anything to Guardian Angels Act, but maybe I should kind of pull this one down. I don't really want to, though, because I do agree with it. So it's a bit of a tricky one there, and I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the Mictor Keepers. We're already kind of in a bit of a rough way with that. I'm quite happy to support our good friends, the Patron Og, though. But for the time being, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. In terms of unemployment over here, well, what are we really wanting? I mean, as much as this isn't a agri-world, perhaps dropping down a new agricultural district on the capital would be nice. So sure, we'll go ahead with that. But expansion continues, and in fact, with the influence we have, we may yet be able to build an outpost. Fantastic! Let's go ahead and get that going and prep a colony ship to colonize Pila 4A for the glory of the EOS Commonwealth. Okay, the automated shipyard. While conducting their survey of Quethoth B1A, the ISS Dionysus, which is an awesomely named ship, by the way, detected the remains of an automated shipyard in orbit. It is at least 1,000 years old and seems to have been subjected to heavy missile barrage, but one of its manufacturing bays is still in working condition. Science Officer Hyadrin is confident the power can be restored to the shipyard, but it would be a significant project. Interesting. Let us go and have a look at you. I am always down for some free ships. Unfortunately, this one is going to require a construction ship. So that's probably going to be you. You've only just gotten to somewhere where you could dock up, but I'm afraid you're going to have to move over here. It's going to be quite a trip for you. That is well out of your way, but it's for the greater good, I assure you. There we go. We have got Pila. This is fantastic. Build the mining stations first because we are hurting for money because we're having to buy some consumer goods on the market, then build research stations, and finally, that is get a new colony going on Pila. For A. Right, we want to colonize this world, please, and indeed thank you. And the only people who can actually colonize it with any decent chance are our Gagasi. Okay, fair enough. They are talented. They're traditional, so they get more Unity job, and they do like Savannah planets. I am okay with this. This is where we start to benefit from having so many different pops. And you know what? Since this is going to be the first world in the EOS Commonwealth that has been colonized by a species other than ourselves, we shall call this New Frontiers because we are exploring them with our space friends. It's great. So there we go. Brand new frontier in more way than one. It is both a new world and it is a new experience for the EOS Commonwealth, one which will hopefully bring our peoples closer towards harmony. Oh, and it seems there's a lot of firsts going on right now. Senate is now in session. The Senate floor is in session. The Galactic Community is now voting on a new resolution to decide if it will become galactic law. Oh, this is fantastic. Let us hope it is the right one. Yes, the Pan-Galactic Recycling Initiative is there. We're already in support. Now, the Micton Keepers and the Hiran Sovereignty are undecided. They're abstaining, so they'll neither get a bonus nor will they get a negative. But we will get a passive bonus with everyone else who decides to support this resolution. I don't know if we would get a passive negative with anyone who opposed it, but I should imagine we would. Now, next up, we've got the Reddit Shield, which I'm actually okay with, Charter for Workers' Rights, and Guardian Angels Act. I mean, we've got a reasonable fleet. Honestly, we've got quite a decent fleet as things go. Though, have a look around. Yeah, your fleets are tiny. We've got an incredibly strong fleet. Though, that being said, you've got a fleet... Yeah, your total fleets are probably quite decent. Are these yours as well? Oh, actually, yeah, to be fair, you've just got a lot of small fleets, but you're probably quite comparable in size. Wow, the Patron Og are just dwarfing us in terms of their fleet. Egads. We've got a little bit to make up for, but I'm not against the Patron Og and I getting pushed up a little bit. This will nix the Bethurians' political weight a little bit, whilst pulling ours up. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be against that, but I would like to possibly get this one laid down if we can. We'll see how things go. I want to try and take some more areas before then, though. So as we get more influence, my goal realistically is currently to secure these two worlds and thereby prevent or at least dramatically increase the cost of our neighbours for expanding, because they'd have to expand over us, thus they wouldn't have the reduced cost of expanding to a neighbouring system. We'll see how that goes. Immense ragged planes of shadow drift across Antak Ram 7's face. They are cast not by clouds, but by sheets of organic material drifting through the upper layers of the atmosphere, hinged, or rather jointed, to allow for a small degree of articulation. Science Officer Solwind is as yet unwilling to say whether these things are flora or fauna, or what possible purpose, if any, their elaborate shadow casting might have. Interesting. I do enjoy these kinds of events. It adds a little bit more wonder to the universe. Every question that we can't answer is a question that we can dream about instead. Cropolite asteroid. Although it is difficult to accept, all indications point towards asteroid GF53001b being a coprolite, a piece of fossilized feces of some kind of massive life form. It appears to be almost 1 billion years old, and much of the fossil's original organic composition has been replaced by mineral deposits. Now, scientists are baffled as to what kind of creature could have produced something like this, literally pooped out an asteroid. That is both disgusting and fascinating, in about equal measure. Damn it. It seems that we've missed our chance. I strongly suspect that you're going to be popping down. Yeah, you are. Okay, well, we're cut off from trying to expand in that direction, but that's not awful. We were just a little bit behind, it seems. But again, it's not an awful fate to have had. We can happily expand out here. Oh, crystals pacified. The crystal entities seem to resonate in response to something, one of their few interactions within their environment. The exact nature and possible wider purpose of this emitted waveform has yet to be ascertained, but for now, our ships can approximate it using radio pings, essentially camouflaging themselves as fellow crystals. So we can now move through any area which was locked off for us in terms of crystals, and we have now gained the research option, crystal infused plating, which is extremely, extremely good. We definitely want to pursue that with some degree of urgency. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signature during a survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message, could be a distress transmitter. So, go ahead and research that now. Ancient mining drones there, and ancient mining drones there. So we can't go into these areas. Ancient mining drones, space amoeba, we could go there. Emerald roamers, now we can, at last, explore out these little areas. So perhaps we'll check in on those as we go past. There's an alien vessel down there, and an alien vessel over there that we do not know much about, so we're not going to be able to really check in on. But we have finished technology. We have got the star hold, so we can upgrade a little bit more, which is rather awesome. Now we've got crystal infused plating, and we are well, we're quite far off, unfortunately, but that being said, we're reasonably good at research. It'll take us 90 months. We could have a look at synthetic crystals, turn minerals into crystals. I'm not really sure that we want to, but it would give us a resource that we could then trade. We could look for robotic workers. Robots are relatively simple machines capable of accepting verbal commands, but possessing no true intelligence of their own. Now, we could do this. With a robotic workforce, robot pops are only capable of simple worker jobs such as mining and farming, and I am completely okay with that because it frees up our other pops to do other things. Whether we'll take it much more than that, I don't know. We could also bump our research just a little bit more by investing in this. It's about the same price as crystal-infused plating, though, which is a bit of a problem. But no, I think robotics, at least for basic industrial robots, would be a good move. So we're going to see what we can do down there. We've only got 14 months left on regenerative hull tissue. But yeah, our size is definitely hurting us, and we've got to try and curb that where we can. Caladan has got a lack of housing, which is not good. I could pop down some more agricultural districts. It would give us some more housing at the very least. Alternatively, I'd go for city districts, which give us a lot more housing and would give us some extra trade value and amenities. And I think that's probably for the best. I mean, we have got a nice wallop load of amenities, so that's okay for now. But yeah, we're going to pop down in city districts just to increase our housing. I need to have a look at some more worlds that we could consecrate as well. We'll have a look, keep our eyes peeled for worlds that are basically trash to us. Perhaps this one, for example.
We have detected an anomaly.
The ISS Ruthenia has successfully restored power to an automated shipyard over Quefoth B1A. The facility immediately resumed its interrupted construction order, using what materials it had on hand to build an advanced frigate of unknown design. Unfortunately, the ancient facility broke down completely afterwards and has been deemed beyond repair. We have sent a crew to the new ship and pressed it into service within our fleet. Marvellous. Right, you can head back to the front in that case. We're probably going to want your help around here. Oh, they're already expanding out. Man, they're quick on the draw. Still, if we can get this set up down here, then maybe we'll upgrade. Well, I don't know if upgrading a station here would really necessarily help us that much, but still it might be worth it in the long run. But taking this system is fairly high priority. Also this one, because we've got an archaeological dig site and a world that we could consecrate and possibly get a really nice modifier on there. The colony ship is on its way to New Frontier, and additionally we have now got a new ship. Let's have a quick look at you. You are quite advanced compared to our current design, at the very least. Medium advanced shields, medium plasteel armor. We have got advanced combat computer. It's got a very nice generator there. Antimatter missiles, small X-ray, some X-ray lasers rather, and barrier point defense. Sure, let's get you drafted then. Let's get you over to the main fleet and we'll get you merged in. There's no point in splitting the fleets right now, I don't think. But time is continuing to march forward. Let's have a quick look. We've got another 1,000 or so days before we find out what happens here. But actually, the Bathurian Trading Consortium has pulled out their support. Interesting. Possibly some shenanigans going on there, but fantastic. This is being put up next. I completely 100% support this one. Yeah, so let's get that one pushed through as quickly as possible. This is going our way. We're not even having to use our own influence to put this through. The Patron Org seem to be on board with exactly our desires right now. I knew we were going to be close space friends. Right, a microsingularity recently intersected Moath 3, passing straight through the core and emerging the other side of the planet. The encounter does not seem to have caused any permanent damage, but it has altered the energy output of the planetary core slightly in a way that defies our current scientific models. Okay, well, fair enough. We'll continue to keep a watch on that. As for our Federation, we're about halfway through to level 3. That is actually getting quite nice. Let's have a look at the fleets. Okay, well, that's a reasonably powerful fleet there. Oh, perhaps. Was that the fleet that I saw in your area? I think it possibly was, actually. I think it may well have been the big fleet that we were seeing. Yes, at least one of them there is the large fleet. Where's the other then? I can't see it, but that's interesting to see all the same. I'm actually pretty pleased that they're not quite as powerful as I first thought. Sensors report a shipwreck of unidentified origin has been sighted in orbit of Moa B4. Very well, let's get that research on the go. But this is actually pretty cool. We're seeing quite a lot going on there. Wow, your economy is getting crazy. My economy is still floundering. I don't approve of this. I need to improve it somehow. But how? An archaeological site in our empire has been fully excavated. Marvellous. Let's go and have a look at this then. One last log has been found and translated. Patrol log. Officer Gilgam. Detected crashed vessel on 5523X. Moved to investigate. I swear, if Pervax is still alive. Vessel identified as the Ravnik, a Class P modular freighter. A single survivor in critical condition was recovered from the wreckage. Identity confirmed as Pervax, Botswain's mate. Remaining crew either perished in crash or turned on each other shortly before our arrival. As per standard protocol, I am leaving this log here and registering the Ravnik as a protected gravesite. End recording. Wow. Pervax. That was amazing. Long live deity Pervax! The immortal. Well done, you. Alright, okay, well, that's been fully explored, and that was honestly a hilarious story. Our crew aboard the ISS Dionysus report that the Moa B4 shipwreck appears to have been the result of an unexpected geomagnetic solar storm. The supply ship suffered a complete loss of life support systems and sustained inoperable damage, drifting until it entered Moa B4's gravity well. There are no survivors. The ship's cargo hold does indeed contain a notable amount of minerals. However, the captain of the ISS Dionysus cautions that the construction indicates Bathurian design. Well, we'll hand it back to our neighbours. And in fact, this will give us a wallop great sum of influence, hopefully. Sure, let's pass that on. I'm fine with that. Hopefully that influence is going to pan out and give us enough to expand out down there as well, which would be very nice, I will confess. EOS, we have received word that our downed supply ship's cargo. We would like to extend our gratitude to you for taking the time to recover it without the need of Bathurian intervention. Our pleasure. 100. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Right, go down there. Use that influence for something good. There we go. Regenerative hull tissue is ours. Now, what are we going to unlock next? Let's have a slow peer through. Now, we could go for the amoeba flagella. Maybe. Naval capacity plus 30 would be a huge help for us. Like, an absolutely enormous help for us, actually. I think we're going to go for that. Do we have a scientist who's better at this? Yes, we do. Scientist Casa, you're coming along. You're going to be helping with this. Yes. Let's switch you over. And then let's get our new ship. Where are we? There we are. Set up with Eelstar. There we go. Perfect. And you can continue on your way. Now, you are without work. I'm sorry to say, but don't worry, I've got new jobs for you. Hooray! Best resolution to being out of work. A new job just literally falls in your lap. It is quite far away, though, but, you know, them's the breaks, I'm afraid. Right, as for anything else, doing reasonably well with our expansions, and now we have this area. We can just go ahead and mine the everything, and pardon me, swallowed my tongue there. Straight away, we need to go ahead and consecrate this world. There's no point in trying to inhabit this one. No, I just said there's no point. Decision. Let us add this world to our canon of consecrated worlds, boosting spiritualist ethics attraction and empire-wide amenities, as well as unity generation. I approve. Okay, let's head on back out. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's leave that where it is, though I am going to have to send a scientist over there eventually to have a quick gander. In fact, where are you headed? How far out are you going? You're actually going further out than our current scientific vessel, so instead, go straight there and start researching. Now, if we can get all the way up there as well, we'll get another world that we can consecrate, and that's pretty much as good as we're going to get it, honestly. New Frontiers is slowly being prepped for our proper inhabitation of it, our full colonization, and things are, generally speaking, not going too bad. We do really need to pull this down a bit. To that end, I had a new administrative office built on our homeworld, and that has helped out a little bit. Now, getting our naval capacity under control as well, that would be a great big honking improvement for us overall. We briefly detect some unusual energy readings and anything from this moon. It might have been a glitch on our system. No, go ahead. Never assume a glitch. Always assume that it is a serious issue and needs to be looked into immediately. Energy credits from technician jobs. Plus 20%. Oh, we needed that one. Actually, quite a lot, as it happens. We could look to increase our researchers, or perhaps get research station output plus 10. That would be fairly nice. Mote harvesting traps would be good, because it would allow us to extract the volatile motes themselves. And honestly, I would like to get this. We've got at least one that we could then straight up harvest. And since that's just sitting there going wanting, let's go ahead and get that one on the go. I think that would be quite a good use. Do we have a scientist who's particularly skilled in that job? Is there one available? No. Well, that's fine then. We will just allow it to go forward as planned. We are almost ready to finish this off, and it does look like everyone is going to be supporting this one, except the two that... Oh, actually, no, they've swapped around. So it is now the Banthurian Trading Consortium and the Hiran Sovereignty who don't want this. And it is pretty solidly up next. We're going to be going for cooperative research channels. This is going to be very, very nice for us. This should give us a nice hefty increase to our diplomatic weight once that comes through. Obviously, the first one is just going to curb the diplomatic weight of a couple of people, and that is why they don't want it to go through it. It makes sense. Despite the toxic content of a high pressure of this planet's atmosphere, strong life signs have been detected. Oh, well, let's have a look. Maybe we can use this to our advantage in some way. Probably not, but we can always try. Robotic workers has been researched. These robotic units are perfect for menial labor tasks. They are hardworking and capable of following simple vocal instructions, but should not be expected to climb stairs. Fair enough. Right, Batharian power plants, we can undo my really, really dumb mistake from early on. I mean, there are lots of other things here that I would like, but no, we are going to grab this one now. I'm so glad that I was offered that opportunity to make things right once again. Though, we have something new that we can pop down on our Forge world, and just to cover what we're doing, we're currently researching the Planetary Administration and civilian industries, because honestly, this is getting a bit nasty. And I am going to need lots of those to be able to continue increasing our admin cap. Beyond that, we seem to be doing relatively well, and it's probably time to start considering building some robot pops here and there if we really want to. The Senate has voted and passed the resolution Pan-Galactic Recycling Initiatives. Oh, fantastic. Let's go and have a look at this. Resolution has been passed. Marvelous. Now then, let's have a look at the community and see how things have changed. I mean, they haven't changed amazingly, but that has managed to increase rather decrease the diplomatic weight from economy, so we should have seen a bit of a difference there. I will have to have a look through editing because I failed to write down what it was beforehand. Also, election. Fantastic. Let's have a look. Okay, well, Dodal is leading, but only by 1% over Casa. But then you've got Caligal and Aquatami quite far behind these two front runners there. Okay, well, fair enough. We'll see where the dice, what the dice rolls there. Now, we've got up next the Cooperative Research Agreement. That would be quite nice. Increase the weight from tech and research station output as well. Or we could have increased away from the economy. I'm not so much in favour of that one, surprisingly. Form the Galactic Market. Okay, that's not a bad one, honestly. I think I'd be okay with the idea of getting a galactic market up and running. The de facto galactic trade, unbound by international diplomacy, has existed since the first two interstellar species met. As galactic leaders, we should agree that it is time to legitimize this commercial forum so that all may benefit. A Birth of the Galactic Market event. I actually support this one. Let's get that one pushed through. I'm not as big on this one, really. Bureaucracy upkeep, I kind of oppose, if I'm perfectly honest. So I'm just going to straight up say I would rather vote that one down so I don't have to worry too much about it. And I'm not so big on that one there either. Diplomatic weight from pops would be nice, and worker happiness is always good. Worker political power increase. I'm going to be in support of that one, I'm going to say. The Ready Shield, an increase from fleet. Ship upkeep, I'm not against. The universe is a dangerous place, and all members of the Galactic Community should be ready to defend their worlds, whether it be against pirates, space creatures, or the unknown. I'm going to support this one as well. As for the Guardian Angels Act, the soldiers that dedicate their lives to keeping our planet safe should be recognized and honored. I mean, I kind of agree with it in general. These two would cancel each other out, though. But the naval capacity would be nice. The ship upkeep and the army upkeep together would be kind of ruinous, but I like the idea of this one. I agree with this one from an ethical point of view, so I'm going to support it. But I do recognize that sacrifices are going to have to be made in the Empire elsewhere in order to keep those two going. As for this, the diplomatic weight from economy plus 20%, no. We should leave regulatory decisions to the experts. Industry leaders are the best qualified to identify wasteful regulations that impede productivity. Habitability -2? Straight up no on that one, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think as they are set right now, I'm reasonably happy with them. Now, we've got a bit of influence stockpiling. Can we declare another saint? I think we can. Yes, we can. Let us declare a saint. Ah, fantastic. Truly. These are our edicts at the moment. The year is 2251, and it is the 28th of January. The resolution passed, and I'm just, honestly, just really happy about that one. How are we doing in terms of EXP? I mean, it's going to take us a long while. It's going to take us a fair old while to get to level 3, but we're making some good progress. There's no reason for us to have all of our envoys over here anymore. We've got 3 envoys. Basically, all of us have assigned 1 envoy each. I could possibly pull an envoy from it, and we would still be okay, but I would have to assign that envoy a bit later on, I think. But, oh my lord, look at your economic power. That is just terrifying, I'm going to be honest. My lord. Oh well, in terms of members, yeah, opinions are still fairly high with us. The fleet is, coming together. It's actually growing quite nicely. The Federation fleet is up to 22 now. We will no doubt be contributing a good wallop load to that just as soon as our research is complete. Let's go and have a look on that one. We've got 41 months before we can increase our naval capacity, and then we'll be contributing more into the Federation, which will be quite nice, keeping our borders safe. New ruler mandate. Kaza has been elected once again as the revered elder of the EOS Commonwealth. Okay, very well. And as per our revered elder's mandate, our planetary districts have expanded. Indeed, they have. So we get a bucket load of unity from that one as well. But unfortunately, ongoing research lacks the scientists because Casa has moved on. Damn it, Casa, you were the only one who had good skills with that. Oh, wait, no. Haha! We've got a new scientist. Ah, just in time. Quatra Petilius, if that is your real name. It totally isn't. No, indeed, we've checked the official records. Your name is actually Oak. Nice try, Oak. No. There we go. Let's get you into research. Now, if we have a look at our other leaders, we'll actually have a governor. Dodal is now available. I could perhaps set you up in a sector. You've got decent clear blocker abilities, but honestly, I don't know if we're quite going to need that right now. For the time being, it's okay though. Maybe up here, maybe we can start organizing this into its own sector. That is possibly something we could do. Right, let's have a look down here. We are still presently upgrading this to a star hold, where we will then set up a new trade hub so that you can gather that for over there, and that is going to allow us to move the next space station possibly all the way up there and do exactly the same. Move it to a star hold will allow us to grab these two and that one. And that would actually be quite nice, because that would cut down on the amount of star bases we're going to need to be able to get all of that going. Okay. After continued studies of the massive skeleton remains found on Mindara 5, Science Officer Eelstar has concluded that the creature served as some kind of organic starship. Much smaller bones from the last 3 separate species were found within the large skeleton, and we assume these came from members of the crew. For unknown reasons, this organic starship suffered catastrophic damage and crash-landed on Mindara 5. While we cannot begin to understand the biological engineering necessary to grow a starship like this, the study of these bones alone has substantially advanced our knowledge. Marvelous. I approve. And a new world is colonized, and we get to pick a new tradition. Oh, it was like seconds away from that new world being colonized as well. Oh, that's so frustrating. But there we go. We could have gotten an extra pop on that world, but that's fine, honestly. Empire sprawl from systems and colonies is reduced by 25%. That's going to be amazing. Starpiece upkeep reduced by 20%. No, let's go with Empire sprawl. Courier network. A network of small courier vessels is a reliable alternative to transporting VIPs or delivering messages that can't be trusted to FTL communications. This will tie our far-flung colonies more closely together. There we go. Womp. And that should help us a little bit. But let's go and check in on our new colony, shall we? There we go. Right, now, as far as this world goes, let's have a quick look at planetary features. Got nothing in particular here. We've got a couple of max generator districts. Nothing really substantial. We've got more mining districts than anything else, but it's kind of a middling planet on almost every way, I would say. Let's have a look. I think we're going to go for an urban world, honestly. Maybe we could make this more of an administrative center for the world. For the Empire. An entire world dedicated to the ever-expanding needs of the bureaucracy. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. Administrative capacity from bureaucrats is increased by 2. Bureaucratic job upkeep produced by 10%, or sorry, upkeep reduced by 10%, and pop ethics shift chance reduced by 20%. That might be nice. Or if we have a look at urban world, a densely populated world, where one glowing metropolis leads almost directly into the next. City district cost reduced and city district build speed increased. I'm going to say no. Well, we're going to try and prime this one for being a bureaucratic center in the Empire. It's going to take a bit of build-up, but that will definitely be useful. And later on, we can start pulling things back from our other worlds. For example, we can have Aavak get rid of those administrative buildings, and they can move over to Pila as and where the opportunity presents itself. And I think this is probably a wise move. Oh, and we've got an archaeological site event. Okay, well, let's go and have a quick look at you then. Right, site summary. Our surface expedition has reported back some astounding findings. The planet has multiple major cities, all abandoned but built in quite good shape. Considering their age. The infrastructure and urban planning of each city is remarkably structured and harmonious, indicating a highly cohesive civilization driven by centralized collective ideals, perhaps even a Gestalt consciousness of some kind. Based on the architecture and interior fixtures, the species that built all this seems to have been small fungoids, with a fairly low state of technical advancement. Where exactly they all went remains unknown. Keep digging. Yes, indeed. A survey ship has scanned Judas 5 and detected some artificial structures worth a closer look. Unnervingly, there are no signs of any population down there. Well, hopefully, we can indeed find a bit more about this. And you, being amazing at archaeology, are going to hopefully find out a little bit more even faster. So the Anyone home chain has begun proper. Hooray! We have finished construction. Also, oh no, star patterns. The latest sensory readings from Ilva showed the star pulsating regularly. When the crew of the ISS Calipus arrived on site, there was no evidence to support this idea. While most of the crew are in agreement that the anomaly was caused by a sensory malfunction, Science Officer Solwind discards this theory. Solwind claims to have discovered similar pulsating energy emission patterns elsewhere, and now fears that something strange is happening to the galaxy's stars. They have charted a course to the nearest affected star. Now, this particular event can be a bit of a pain. Solwind's a level 3 scientist. I mean, I like you, Solwind. I'm gonna give you a chance. Are you going to become the protector of the realm, or will this actually be a pulsating star? Please let it be the latter. I mean, as nice as it might sound, to become a protector of the realm, it is not. Right, okay, we're going to start this one out, and we're actually going to send Solwind over there as well. Let's pause that there. We are receiving a transmission from the Independent Space Station of the Artisan Troop. Oh, we found the Artisan Troop. I approve. A visitor, this is a joyous occasion. Oh, wow, it looks like a Skeksis. Oh, forgive my manners. I believe introductions are in order. We are the Artisan Troop. Our members have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of art, music, culture, and all other things which makes existence bearable to a sapient being. Please, if you would like to share in the wonders of our creation, do not hesitate to contact us. I mean, well, it is very interesting. But, Solwind, you found it. Where are we going to be going then? Let's find out. Where's the situation log taking us? Where is Solwind first and foremost? But, because if you are really, really far away, okay, you're right at the top then. If you're really far away, then maybe someone else is going to take it and you're just going to luck out. Right, pulsating star, where are we? Oh, we're right up the top. Okay, well, where are we? Is it somewhere we haven't been yet? Was it here? Oh yeah, it does look like it was there. Well, best of luck, Solwind. Godspeed. We'll see how this pans out, but I've not had the best of luck with that particular scenario almost every time I've ever tried to do it. So I'm not holding my breath. Let's prepare to build the outpost down here, but we now have enough to build an outpost right there, which is fantastic. Also, I do believe our base down here, yes, fantasticus. Right, we've got 4 trade value over there that we kind of want to grab hold of. So let's build a trade hub. And we're going to grab hold of it, in fact. Now, we could build an anchorage to increase our naval capacity even further. That might not be a bad choice, but I'm actually going to go for a missile battery to help protect our trade routes just a wee bit. Down here, I think... honestly, you're so close to Canopus that if I want a ship to go and dock up, I could just send them over there. So I'm going to leave this one available for us now. But crew quarters is probably one of the better ones to go for. The other one is resource silo. We are continually hitting our mineral resource cap, and I just sell them all off. But, well, this doesn't have an upkeep, so you know what? Until we've got another need, we'll go ahead and build that one. Now, as for the trade around here, we kind of want to reach all of it, which means we want a base over here, which will then be upgraded to a starhold so that we've got enough room to get enough trade hubs out to these locations while still having production over here. So let's go ahead and take care of that, shall we? Let's go ahead right away and upgrade you. And we're going to have to upgrade you twice in order to get there. We're also going to have to colonize this location, but that'll be a decent amount of trade. Unfortunately, it's going to have to take a long route to get down there, so we are almost certainly going to have to consider setting up our fleet to split up and actually patrol these routes. Something that I've been very glad to have not had to do up until now, but, well, the times are changing, I suppose.
Included. Star
crazy, oh no way. Damn it, this is the problem with that particular event chain. Now, I happen to know that there is there are alternate outcomes, but I've never seen any of them. It's somehow so poetic, though, as well. The crew of the ISS Calipus has made an unfortunate discovery. Like they suspected, the pulsating pattern observed from Dorfil was in fact due to a sensory malfunction. In Science Officer Solwind's head, Science Officer Solwind has turned erratic and suffers delusions about the stars pulsating coded warnings about the coming apocalypse and of having been appointed protector of the realm. The crew believes he himself manipulated the ship's sensory data during a psychotic spell. Solwind is now in a medical pod headed back to Aavak, where he will receive treatment. Thank you for your service, Solwind, protector of the realm. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Well, that's Solwind gone. That is unfortunate. It means we now need a new scientist. We've got a Spark of Genius, which is always nice because it gives you a decent chance of getting some interesting research alternatives when they are researching. But we want someone to survey. So honestly, you look like a perfect candidate. However, what is with my scientists and their aliases all of a sudden? Nice try, Vanya Loswin, but we know your real name. Now, I need you to continue where Solwind left off. Hopefully slightly less crazy, though. Right, so this would be the artisan troop, though. Let's go ahead and say hello, I guess. Let's see. There would be artisan troop right up there. Okay, greetings, Cancer. I, the headmaster of artisan troop, greet you. What can we do for perhaps produce a work of art for you to enjoy, or maybe you wish to sponsor our enclave and its creation of otherworldly beauty. Well, as it happens, I kind of would like to become your patron, if we can. That would be very helpful, allowing us to try new ideas and take more risks in our creation process. We have a 10-year program with a one-time upfront cost. It would be 2,000 energy, it's fine. Extra unity, I am 100% on that. Patron of the arts, let's get that going. There you go. As for art pieces, fabulous. We'd be glad to entrust you with one of our creations. It is sure to bring joy to the people of your empire. Let's have a look. Gain access to the Exhibit Art Monument decision that can be enacted on one planet with the following effects: plus 15% amenities and immigration pull of plus 50%. I kind of like it. Sure, I'll buy that for 600. Thank you. Now, which planet do I want to stick it on is the question. We've got 2 sectors. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't aware that we had a new sector, actually. Let's switch over to sectors map mode. I see. It appears that my sector does not have anything in it. Perhaps I could add this to the frontier sector? Or maybe frontier sector is just like a placeholder. I can't quite tell, if I'm perfectly honest. All right, well, first and foremost, let me go ahead and decide which one we want to set up with the amenities and the pull on the population. I mean, it might not be bad. You've already got a lot of amenities there. T Prime, not quite so much. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more down on Aavak itself. Getting more people on T Prime would be quite nice because we would bump up those generator districts. Aavak does have a lot of housing though, but Oolong Prime has an awful lot of available housing. Bit of a question there. I would say that perhaps because it would massively improve the happiness here. Effect from high amenities, happiness plus 20%. And we've got a decent amount of housing. It's an agri-world, which isn't amazing, but honestly, because it's an agri-world, I'm not really too worried about having buildings that would support agriculture as much. So these building slots would be available for other things. Sure, we'll display the art here, I think. Let's go ahead and pop that down. Art exhibition. Enjoy. There we go. And you can have that one for a little while. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to set up some sectors. There we go. We have now got a new sector, and Dodal is the governor of said sector. I mean, it's not really going to do too much, but it's keeping everything nice and tidy, I think. It was about time that we popped down another sector, I feel. At the very least, we get the use out of our resident governor, who didn't really have a job. So, everything works out well in the end. Class 12 asteroid orbits this planet.
System
The
survey
small
concluded.
planetoid's orbit appears to be far too stable. Well, then let's have a look into that. Also, recycling campaign has expired, but I have already sorted that one out. So we're good for the time being. Carrying on then. Oh, it seems the Senate is now in session. Cooperative research channels. It seems that the Hiran sovereignty and the Mictor keepers are not interested in this one. That's actually a little bit of a surprise, honestly. I would have kind of thought everyone would have been down for this one. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into a stable orbit around Dorfil 1. The massive engine sections and braking thrusters can still be seen on the planet's surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but these operations were seemingly abandoned shortly after they began. Well, that's fine then. There's still a bit that we would be able to get, but it's so far out that it doesn't actually matter to us, I would say. What does matter to us is continuing up here to close that gap off. We don't want you coming down any further than this. I would like to try and keep hold of that particular wormhole if we can. There are a couple of other things around here. If we could get up there, though, the odds of us doing that, because they are making a rush. Yeah, I think we are just going to have to accept we're never going to really get up there. The best we could do is grab as much land in that direction as we can. Oh no. Seems quite a lot of things just happened there. Let's have a look. Scientist Caligal has died at the age of 87. Well, you had a good old life there. I hope that you died peacefully. Let's have a look. You were working on the Betharian power plant. Oh, 2 months before completion, you didn't live to see your work completed. Let's hope that you didn't really care about that one in particular. You're like, I don't know, not really what I cared about so much. But we could have a spark of genius. At least it is prone to sudden bursts of inspiration. Or just go for expertise materials. I will almost always go for genius or maniacal because it gives the best results. But wow, we've had a lot of new scientists, and all of them have been operating under some pseudonym. Why? What has been going on in the scientists around Aavak? Has there been some sort of anti-intellectual movement? Are they having to take falsified names to remain safe? Oh, this is a troubling development. But worry not, Manu. You are now working directly for the government. You will be safe, and so will your family. Please get on with research. Okay, well, given that, it's time for us to continue our expansion. I think I'm going to have to make a rush over there, though. Let's get over there, get that starbase down right now. And the Betharian power plant has been finished. Right, let's have a look at what we've got. Oh, okay, so we've got modular engineering, rare crystal manufacturing, we've got exotic gas refining, and crystal-infused plating available for us. Now, that one, again, will take us a while, but this one is a rare technology, which I'm quite happy with. Star-based building cost and star-based module cost. I mean, I don't mind taking it. We are building a reasonable amount of starbases, actually. So, yeah, okay, we'll grab this one. It'll hopefully pay off in the long run. We don't have many starbases right now. We've only got 2, and we're starting to build up a 3rd. So it won't have. We'll probably be building quite a lot more throughout the game. So, you know, getting it early is probably the best way to get it. Currently, on this starbase, we are building 2 trade hubs, and as soon as we've got one, we will build the corporate offices. Let me just have a quick look. What are they called? The Off-World Trading Company. And what do we got there? Moat harvesting traps. Marvelous. Oh, someone else has died. Why? No, stop. Barrier point defense we could go for just to improve our ships a bit, or the improved deflectors perhaps, or more research alternatives. Early on, I think this is a better one, especially if I'm trying to focus on getting scientists who have a chance of getting some really interesting ones. So, sure. Self-evolving logic. But let's find out who just went down. Scientist Eelstar. What is with all my scientists dying? Maybe the anti-intellectual movement is much more insidious than I thought. Perhaps it's even in the government. Oh no. We're going to have to keep a close eye on our scientists. They are dropping like flies. At this point, I think we've already got... Well, we kind of got even on both... engineering and biology. Statecraft, biology, or materials. I'm going to say let's go with biology. I'm not even going to question why you're using an alias at this point. It's rather plainly obvious and quite troubling. Nevertheless, you know, bureaucracy is what bureaucracy is, and we do need your real name on the official papers. So, Tomscaper, welcome to the crew, and hopefully long may you not be assassinated by anti-intellectuals. Sorry that it's a bad time to be a scientist in the EOS Commonwealth for some reason, but let's hope that brighter times eventually come. I don't know, but on that rather dire note, I think we're going to wrap the episode up there. We have made a bit of progress. We've spread out a bit. The year is 2254, so we've passed 54 years since the EOS Commonwealth managed to get into space. We've still got a couple of areas where we want to just kind of close the borders properly. Maybe if we send someone out here and just get in there, maybe just grab these locations, and that might not be a bad idea. There may be some interesting stuff there. At the very least, we would be securing these locations for ourselves. But yeah, we do desperately need to push further north. We've got a lot of available resources that we would be able to pretty much isolate for ourselves. As long as we can get here, that's the main thing. But if we can push just a little bit further, then that would be ideal. You never know. The Bathurian Trading Consortium might not push any further, but honestly, given their economy, they can probably afford to, so we can't hope for that. But that is going to be where we end this episode. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope we will be seeing each other in the next, but until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.